Hi, this is Sophia Cordova for EDU 525 in Mr. Mason's class. And this is our 4 question prompts for our discussion video on what are the dispositions that we're working on as teachers. And for the first question of what we would say our strengths are, what I would say my strengths are would be curiosity driven by fairness. I've always been a naturally curious person, and it's a foundation of why we want to learn, why anything works in the world. And for me, it's always been a curiosity of what's true, what isn't, why are things fair or unfair. It's always been a force of my personality. So that's something I feel I can model very well as a teacher and really bring to the table for other learners and coworkers. And that's what I feel my strengths are. What I feel I can work on that was listed in the dispositions would be compassion, which even though I consider myself very compassionate already, I know being patient is a pillar of compassion. They go hand in hand, and patience is always something I know I can work on all the time. I can work on being much more of. So being patient, which leads to being more compassionate, that's something that I feel I can work on as a teacher. For question 3, I would say that how do the dispositions, how do they aid, or how are they ways to combat personal biases, whether it's gender, cultural, learning style. The dispositions really are antidotes. And for the curiosity, which was what I chose as a strength, it's really about being curious about why these differences, not only why do they exist, but how can we integrate them, and how can we teach other learners and each other as teachers why every one of these skills is important, why every one of these cultural differences is equally valid and valuable, and what they can all bring to the table and help teaching and learning evolve. And there's a quote that says, before getting judgmental, be curious. And that's what I think the dispositions do. They really show not just be curious, but how to be curious and why. And bias is both conscious and unconscious. So sometimes people cling onto their own biases, even though they deliberately leave out certain truths, whether we're aware of them or not, because what's familiar often provides a sort of illusion of safety and familiarity. And the dispositions, they sort of give a gentle push into being out of our comfort zones and how we can better implement that. And for the 4th question, and how do we plan on using feedback, especially in our first years as a teacher, I believe the best teachers really are the ones who are constantly learning and who believe there's always more to learn, always more to grow, more skills to grow, or even new ones, completely new ones to implement. So being open to feedback so that us as teachers, we never get to a point of being jaded or feeling like, oh, I know it all, or I don't need to learn anymore. That's really not the best model for any student. You never want to model this sort of know-it-all attitude. And that's something that I feel feedback, especially in the first year, can help with. And we get feedback, or we get maintenance for our machines or our homes or whatever needs an update or an upgrade. And it's really not much different to how we upgrade ourselves as people, our relationships, how skilled we are in our careers. The best people at their professions are constantly keeping their skills alive by doing new things, trying new things, being open to feedback, no matter who it's coming from, as long as it's presented in a professional and dedicated, honest way. And those are my answers to the question prompts. And I believe, this is it. Thank you so much, and I will see you in class. Bye-bye.